This is a video response I'm making towards Pimpinpenz video where he was telling people not to buy cheap equipment. After watching that video, I have my pros and cons about it. It depends what you're using the equipment for. I mean, if you're just doing work around your property like yard work, it's okay to buy cheap equipment, but do your research before you buy. But if you're doing work on a commercial basis, like different properties, earning money, it's good then to have commercial grade equipment, quality equipment, because you're earning money on these jobs and you want good equipment that will last. I myself have cheap equipment. I have good lawnmowers. I got 4+ snapper push mowers, self-propelled ones, and I got one old blonde boy push mower that I just made a video of, and I got a Craftsman self-propelled lawnmower that I bought brand new over 10 plus years ago, which I never really use. And when I bought my first brand new weed whacker, I bought a Yard Machines model Y28 weed whacker. Why did I buy it? It was because it was cheap and it was based off the old Ryan weed whacker that I was using. It was basically the same design. It had the same housing as the Ryan. It had the same shaft as the Ryan. The only thing different about that weed whacker was compared to the Ryan, it had an updated carburetor. And I bought that thing 10 plus years ago, and it still works. The only gripe I have about it is the trimming string always snaps apart. When that happens, I'm just like, oh fuck, you know. Otherwise, I had to have it serviced once, which was underneath warranty. I took it to my local True Value because the Menards store where I bought it from did not service equipment. So I took it to the True Value and they tuned up the carburetor for free underneath warranty. And after that, I had no problems with it ever since, despite my gripes about it. But it was basically the same design as the old Ryan weed whacker that I was using. I loved the Ryan weed whacker. I loved the weight of it. It was easy to whip around compared to the heavier brands, other competitor brands. But yeah, I mean, I just use it around my property. It's been a good weed whacker. I had it over 10 plus years, 8 to 10 years. And the first leaf blower that I bought was a Craftsman one. It was a Craftsman brand. It was made by Poulan, because I seen Poulan ones at Home Depot, which had the same housing and everything, but it was a Poulan instead of a Craftsman one. And that one included the vac kit plus a gas can for $100. And I bought that one about 8 to 10 years ago. I paid $100 for it, and it lasted me about 8 years, I guess. The only real problem I had with it was the recoil assembly. It was pretty finicky. Sometimes the rope would retract, sometimes it wouldn't. I just put up with the problem because whenever I took it to Sears, they never discovered that the recoil was not working correctly. So I just put up with the problem until the carburetor screwed up on it. Then I started shopping for a different blower. So I was in the market for a new blower. So I went to Home Depot and I was looking around, and my neighbor was always saying that the Echo brands were always the best ones. Those other brands, those cheaper brands, were shit. So I went to Home Depot and I looked at the Echo one, and I wasn't too pleased about the quality of it, put it that way. In my opinion, I thought it looked like a piece of shit, and that one was about $150, and it didn't include the vac kit. I wanted the vac kit. And then I was looking at what's that? The Ryobi one. The Ryobi one looked to be well built compared to the Echo one. And that one included the vac kit for about $100. So I went home and I did my research on them. The Echo one got pretty good reviews, and it also got poor reviews. And then the Ryobi one, it was like 50-50. It got good reviews and it got bad reviews. So for the price, I decided to gamble on the Ryobi one, and I had that thing about 2 years so far, and it's been pretty good. I just use it around the property, raking leaves and blowing the sidewalks after a mow. And yeah, I had that thing about 2+ years. It's been pretty good. The only gripe I have about it is sometimes you got to let the engine warm up enough so the thing could run properly. Because once it's running, if it's not warmed up, if it's not really warmed up, you press on the throttle trigger, and the engine just seems to bog. But that's only once in a great while. And if I get 8 to 10 years life out of it, I got my money's worth. You figure $100 divided by 8 or 10, maybe about $10 a year use or whatever. But yeah, I mean, cheap equipment is good as long as you do your research on it before you buy them. But if you're doing commercial jobs like let's say Savage No More does, like you're doing you're doing lawn service as a job, you want the best equipment possible that you could use from job to job to job. Personally, I wouldn't buy any cheap brand for commercial use. I would buy like Husqvarna brands or Echo brands, Toro, Snapper, Ariens, or like any of the more expensive like zero turn mowers. I wouldn't buy any of this cheap shit, any of this MTD crap or whatever they have at the big box stores that are cheap. But the cheap stuff is okay as long as you're using it on your own property as far as homeowner use. But if you're using stuff for commercial use, as for a business, you want the best commercial stuff possible that could last from job to job to job to job. And I think I got my point across now. It's kind of hard to explain for me to put things together, you know. And that concludes this video. Bye.